To use Aquila Cloud's FinOps platform to monitor and optimize your AWS cloud resource usage, you need to add your AWS account as an environment. Once added, we can assess and manage cloud usage and budget, right-size the resources, get rid of unused resources, and more. Having all the controls and the usage data in an easy-to-understand graphical interface facilitates ease of use and accessibility for anyone who has to manage the cloud infrastructure for their organization. Onboarding has two major parts. Configuring the AWS cost and usage report to be generated and creating or utilizing an S3 bucket to allow saving and retrieval of the AWS billing report. Accessing the CloudFormation template, CFT, and creating a stack for the root account or a stack set for sub-accounts to allow FinOps to access the cloud cost and usage data. The permissions required for FinOps to perform its functions are as follows. EC2, Elastic Cloud Compute, or EBS, Elastic Block Store, list and describe functionality for EC2, EBS, snapshots and tags plus discovery permissions required for optimizer functionality. CloudWatch access for resources metrics like CPU and memory utilization are collected using these permissions for optimizer. RDS, Relational Database Service, list, describe cluster, database discovery permissions and performance metrics collection permissions required for optimizer functionality. EKS, Elastic Kubernetes Service, list, describe cluster and worker nodes discovery permissions required for optimizer functionality. ECS, Elastic Container Service, list/describe cluster, EC2 worker nodes and tasks discovery permissions required for optimizer functionality. ASG, Auto Scaling Groups, and ELB, Elastic Load Balancing, discovery permissions that are required for optimizer functionality. Starting from the login screen of the AWS console, we use the top search bar to go to the billing homepage, and from there, to the cost and usage reports section. An existing report can be used as well. For the purposes of this video, we will create a new cost and usage report to store all the relevant financial data. We will call it the Aquila Demo Report. Remember to tick the checkbox for Include Resource IDs because without it, we cannot identify the instances we have to work with. Next, we must configure the S3 bucket where these reports will be stored. We can use an existing bucket or create a new one. For this example, we will be creating a new one using the same Aquila demo bucket name to make it easier to identify. Bucket names are globally unique, so make sure that the name you select is available. The region selection could be anywhere, depending on the organizational preferences. For this video, we'll take it as US East. Use the default policy to start with. Once created, be sure to verify it. A green tick should show up next to it, confirming it to be a valid bucket. We will continue using a similar prefix name, which is Aquila Demo. The time granularity should be hourly so that the data is updated regularly. Report versioning should be new and select gzip as the compression type. The rest can be left as is. Once reviewed and completed, the report should show up in the cost and usage report section. Now, using the search bar, we go to the CloudFormation template or CFT page. If we are onboarding a root account, we will be making a CFT stack. For multiple sub-accounts, we will create a stack set so that role ARNs will be created in each as well without manual intervention. This refers to the Amazon resource name or ARN in short, which is to be used for the process of onboarding. These are to be included when adding the environment to FinOps. From the landing page, we use the Create Stack option. Use the Template is Ready option and next, use the Upload a Template File option to choose and upload the CFT that has been provided by the Aquila Clouds team. Contact Aquila Clouds if you have trouble locating the CFT. In the next step, we will use the same Aquila Demo stack name and fill out our bucket name Aquila Demo Bucket that we created earlier. Moving to the next step, we can create a custom tag for the stack, as per the company policy on tagging. For this video, we will use the key as a user and name is Aquila Demo as we have used so far. We can leave the rest of the options to default and continue. On the review page, all we have to do is verify the details we have filled in so far using the Acknowledge checkbox at the bottom of the page, and then we can click Submit. Now we can view the status of the stack, which shows that it is in creation. We wait in the Output tab, and once the key is generated, we copy the value. This is the ARN for this stack to access it via FinOps. To onboard this, now we log in into FinOps, and navigate to the Environments option under the Administration subsection. Once the page loads, we use the Add button to add the new AWS environment. We can use a similar name, Aquila Demo AWS, select the type as Amazon AWS and set the connection type to ARN. We can click the eye icons on the right of the fields to make the parameters we input visible. Starting with the ARN, we can copy and paste that from the AWS page. If there are multiple ARNs in multiple sub-accounts, we will add them here as well, separated by commas. The account ID is included in the ARN or can be copied from the top right drop-down menu in the AWS console. Next up, the billing bucket name, as we set it up earlier, is Aquila Demo Bucket. Then we input the region suffix that we selected for the bucket earlier, by clicking on the bucket and copying the last part from there. Similarly, the billing report name we have set up is Aquila Demo Report, and the prefix can be seen by going to the report details, which is Aquila Demo. The other details can be left out unless specifically mentioned for setting up an aggregator bucket. Click Confirm and we are done onboarding. The yellow status indicator should show up, signifying that the data is being downloaded and analyzed and will be available to work soon. The environment logs can be viewed to get more details about the processing status. Please feel free to reach out to the Aquila team in case any queries remain or you run into any issues.